Hi, and welcome to Digital Tech Reviews and Tips. Today in this video, I'm going to be unboxing the new Mavic Mini from DJI, as well as comparing it side by side to a couple other of their previous drones, so you get a better sense of just how big or small it is. Now, if you don't know much about this drone, the two really big things you got to know is, one, it's very small, so the first big thing is how small it is. It's 249 grams, as you can see right there on the front. DJI was very proud of the fact that they got it that light, so they're going to advertise it to everyone. And the second thing is the fact that it is only $400. Now, this is replacing the Spark, so pretty direct replacement on price there. However, you get a bump up in resolution to 2.7K, so not quite 4K, and you also get better flight time and better range. Looking at the box that it comes in here, it's a pretty simple box, standard for DJI. They're Apple-esque look that they're known for. You know, Mavic Mini on the back there, the Mavic Mini drone and the controller on the front, and not much else to see. So without further ado, let's just get right into opening it up here. That's what you all come for. Whoa, that was really quick. Okay, should I do it again? So boom, oh, there we go. Yeah, it's basically the drone and the controller, as you can see here right on top. So let's take the drone, and yeah, it's very small. I think everyone pretty much knows that by now. If I put it in my hand, there's the standard hand shot that you've seen everyone doing and in the thumbnails. So is that good now? Thanks. Let's set that aside though. I'll get back to it in a second, but let's look at what else is included in the box. You know, that's as important as the drone itself. So let's slide out the controller. And this is also pretty standard for DJI. It's similar to their Spark and their Mavic Air. You know, this is using the Wi-Fi frequencies rather than the OcuSync or OcuSync 2.0. Definitely not as good as the Mavic Pro or Mavic Pro 2. You know, those series are a bit more professional, longer range, and also it doesn't have that nice display on the front there too, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, for $400, what can you expect? At least they're now including a controller. I think with the Spark, they were actually shipping a version which only came with the Spark and you just used it with your phone. So this is actually definitely an improvement there. So yeah, but not much to see otherwise than the fact that it's a controller. And going a little deeper, here we have in this box, most likely some cords and propellers and such. Oop. So let's dump that all out. First thing we're going to get here is the cables. Now these are for connecting your smartphone to your controller. They're pretty small, pretty nice, kind of go right along the side of the smartphone there from the controller. You have lightning cable, you have micro USB, and you have USB-C. So whatever phone you have, this will work with it. I would say, you know, do what I recommend with the other DJI drones and get, you know, a little foot-long cable that connects to it. However, they actually don't have this multi-use USB that usually is right here. So I guess you're stuck with these for now until maybe they release a different option, but hopefully these work pretty well. And at least they're small and nice and portable. Now you also get in here another cable. Let's take a look at what that is. I'm guessing that this is for the drone. And we're just gonna rip this open. I'm sorry guys. I know you like me to open the packages cleanly. However, that's not gonna happen. And here, yep, it is a micro USB, so likely for charging the drone. It's a shame they didn't include USB-C, but I guess for the price, yeah, they had to make some cuts and USB-C was more expensive possibly. Another thing you get in here is the little screwdriver. So that's an interesting thing with this drone. I guess to cut weight, they had to use screws to install the propellers rather than the nice quick release propellers that you get on the other DJI drones. So that's a bit of a shame as well. You know, I wish they could have figured out a way to lighten up the quick release design. In here are the propellers. I'm not actually going to open them because they also have the screws in here and I don't want to lose those. You know, it's a nice convenient packaging to keep in the case or wherever you're bringing with it in case you do break your propellers and need to replace them. So that's nice that they include those. And finally, you get some thumb screws. So in case you lose the ones that come with the controller, you can have some replacements because I don't think you could really fly the drone with just pushing your thumbs on those like controller balls they have there. That would be pretty awful. So get replacements there. Finally, the last couple things in here are some papers, you know, your manual, your quick start, and whatever else this last one is. It looks like first thing you get is a little thing on how to replace the propellers, how to take off, basic stuff. You can find that all online. Get a little Mavic Mini disclaimer with safety guidelines, such. Don't really need that. You get a quick start guide. There's also videos online for that. You know, all this stuff, yeah, what's in the box, you can find that out online. Warranty, flying with control. This is a thing probably they're including from the FAA or etc. to kind of give people a basic thing. It looks like Australian and New Zealand, but nothing for the US, so I don't know what that says about which drone I got, but apparently US doesn't need to fly safely. You just only fly safe in those countries. So that's what you get in the box. Let's now set all this stuff aside magically with a quick clap so we can take a closer look at the Mavic Mini drone itself. As you saw before, very small, we get that by now, but unfolding the drone and, you know, getting it out as if we were to fly, the first thing I noticed just doing that is that it does feel a lot more cheap than the other drones, even the older Spark and the only slightly more expensive Mavic Air. To make it this light, they really had to, you know, eliminate a lot of the more premium quality plastics, metal parts, and such. And as a result, it does feel a lot more cheap, but I guess that is the feeling of ultralightness, you know, being able to fly possibly without registering in some countries, and also being more portable. Let's just actually pull out some other drones here to give you a comparison of how big it is. You know, I did say earlier that this was the smallest drone, but this here is actually the DJI Tech Tello, and it's a little smaller. So it actually goes down there on that end for smallness, but we then also have the Spark, which is technically a little smaller, but because it's heavier, I'm gonna put it up here a little. I don't know, that's probably good. And then next we have the Mavic Air, which is actually kind of about the same size as the Mavic Mini as far as, you know, distance between the propellers, but weight-wise, it's definitely more expensive. Price-wise, it's also more expensive, so that goes up on this end. You know, the one thing I do want to show you is that even though these two drones are kind of about the same weight, this is definitely heavier. The really interesting thing is once you pull the battery out of the Mavic Mini and you pull the battery out of the Spark, the weight differential is crazy. Like, this is still pretty heavy, and this is like, you know, I have these spectacles sitting here. Spectacles almost feel heavier than the Mavic Mini without a battery. So that's really how light the drone itself is once you remove the battery. And then looking at the batteries here, you know, this is the Spark Mavic Mini. It's really amazing to see that DJI made this battery, if anything, a little bigger than what the Spark had, because, you know, considering this has some plastic padding here, this little connector here and whatnot, that the Mavic Mini battery is actually feels a little or heavier, or at least the same weight as the Spark. So it really goes to show that the big, you know, savings in weight came in just how light they made this drone. It's very comparable. If I pull out the battery here, you know, it's amazing how close these two drones are in weight, even though this doesn't even have a gimbal on it. You know, it doesn't have the folding arms. Like, this is really just a glorified toy here. No offense to Tello. It's a fun drone to fly, but yeah, basically just a toy. Whereas with the Mavic Mini, you know, you have some people considering, hey, is this a pro quality product? The short answer, no, it's not. But the fact that you're even considering that just shows how good of a job DJI did on losing weight, but also keeping the quality at least something that is respectable. You know, I don't think in any world that you could replace the Mavic Air here with the Mavic Mini, but, you know, it's not always about how good the drone is, it's the drone you have with you. So if you can't afford, you know, more expensive drone, or you just don't want to carry something that big necessarily, you know, you're just getting into droning, don't want to carry around 8 pounds of drone wherever you go, this is like 250 grams, you know, with a controller, maybe 500 grams, 600 grams. Yeah, can easily fit in a purse or a bag. And, is really the type of thing that you can bring anywhere and then get that shot because you might not have had a drone before and now you do. So I think it's a really cool product. I'll have to see how it actually works once I test it out. So check out my channel for some footage from it, or full review comparing it to all the drones. And of course, consider subscribing, it's free. Leave a like on this video, of course, just for the fact that I got all these drones on the same table. And also possibly leave your questions down below. I like to answer them, and other people most likely have similar questions, so can help out other folks as well. That's pretty much it, guys. If you aren't already following me on social media, check me out Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, but most likely Instagram because that's the more interesting one. And if you guys are still watching, thank you for making it all the way through the video, even the last minute or so where I've basically just been rambling about stuff. I hope you guys get awesome drone footage and fly safe. And as always, peace out. Bye.